Mm, I hate I hate when they change things because when they change things, it's different, and now I got to relearn it. Oh, this is what I do. I got to go add scenes, extra camera, and add camera. Turn that on. Okay, I am now caught up. But anyway, stop giving away free custom advice. It is hurting you in the long run. Most people, like I said, think it's a really good idea. When they get that DM, they get so excited, and people will say they'll jump in and say, "Let me pick your brain for a second. Let me slide over." They'll say, "Let me pick your brain. I just got a few questions for you." And in the very beginning, we all do the same thing. We all say, "Sure. What questions do you have?" But you've got to realize when people are picking your brain, when people are when you're giving free advice, they're going to use that advice and they're going to make money. They're going to have their problem solved, and you're still going to be frustrated because you're not making any money. But what you should do instead is you should first, number one, spot repeat questions. Most likely, people are asking the same questions. You take those questions, if you've answered them before, if you take those questions and turn it into a digital product, turn it into a digital solution. Because chances are, if five people are asking you this question, there are hundreds more that have that exact same thing. So I'll give you a few examples. Oftentimes people will ask me about, I don't know, affiliate marketing, how to get started. And they'll say, what are the steps? What are the process? Or how do I find a niche? How do I pick a niche? They'll ask me. And I get that question a lot because they believe every niche is saturated, every niche is competitive. So I've got two options. I could, one, jump and answer every single question, which takes a bunch of time from me. And essentially, I'm not going to get anything in return. These people are probably going to use the information that they get from me to make money or have their problem solved. Or I could take that and turn it into a digital solution where I create a step by step guide showing people how to find a niche for affiliate marketing and then turn around and sell that for $5 or $7. That way, your time becomes valuable. That way, you're you're not uh, just answering questions, helping them solve problems, helping them make money, and you are still trying to figure it out. So step number one, and I'm not telling you to be mean in the comment in the DMs when people DM you. You know, they're reaching out to you because they think you're an expert or they think that you can actually solve their problems, which is awesome. But think about the time that it takes you to go back and forth in a DM, to answer the DM, to wait for the response. And now you're up 10, 11 o'clock at night trying to respond to every single DM. And, it's one of those things where I think he's going to line out. Go back. Damn it. Got him for the double play. Anyway, um, so those going to keep word in the first day. Um, my wife just sent me a message. We were having a little bit of issues with our kids' school, and so yesterday I didn't go live actually because I was at the school, and unfortunately I might have to go back to the school again today to get some stuff clarified and fixed. So if I end the live early, that's probably why, because I have to go get some stuff figured out at our kids' school. Anyway, getting back to what's important, if you notice that people are asking, for example, if you're getting the exact same question 5 times or more, that's your sign to create a digital product. And when you create the digital product, it can be a simple Word document that you turn into a PDF. If you want to make it look cute, it could be a Canva document that you add pretty pictures to, and then download it to your computer. Okay. And if you guys have questions, definitely throw them out there. I'll be happy to answer them. The second thing that you want to do is when people DM you, answer the first couple questions, have a conversation with them, but let them know that the complete solution, let them know that you can't answer all of their questions just through DMs. And the best way to have their problem solved is to check out the digital solution that you created for them because you created it just for them. Okay. So that's number one. Then you want to, like I said, move from custom answer to standard answer. Instead of rewriting from scratch, build one clear step-by-step answer for people to use. It's real simple. And then you want to package the answer, and you're going to package the answer simply by creating a sales page. And then when you create the sales page, you're explaining the problem that your audience is going through. Ooh, I thought that was fair. And how your digital solution will solve that problem. But I want you guys to, it's a mindset shift, really, because you're probably thinking, well, who's going to pay for this answer? I'll give you an example. And I always like to use this example because it's pretty relevant. Over the last year or so, I've lost a substantial amount of weight. And I'll get DMs and messages on my YouTube channel. People asking me, well, how did you do it? How did you lose all of that weight? What were the step-by-step that you followed? And I can try and respond to every single YouTube comment with people asking me how I lost the weight, or I can create a solution telling them exactly what I did. And you can say, hey, thanks for the comment. In general, I did this, this, and this to lose the weight. But if you want to know exactly what I did, if you want to know exactly how I got here, check out my digital solution. Okay. And like I said, that it puts you in the best position to be successful. How much time have you wasted with sending DMs back and forth? How many DMs have you sent? If you haven't had to answer a question like that, ask yourself this. How many DMs have you sent to someone and gotten no response? Or how many DMs have you sent and you got general information? Partly because those DMs take a bunch of time, partly because, people get those same things over and over again. And what's really impactful about it is you create a digital solution, you get people on your mailing list that have paid you, then you can then you can sell them more stuff on the back end. And that's the missing piece. Selling more stuff on the back end. We're not just making $5 per person. The goal is to build a long-term relationship with our audience so that they feel comfortable coming to us when they have more problems. Because ultimately, if you solve the first problem that they have, like the first problem that someone might have is maybe getting back into the gym and knowing exactly what to do for the first 14 days. Okay, if you solve that first problem, they might come back to you to have another problem solved or a bigger problem solved. And that's when you can offer them another solution. That's when you can offer them a deeper solution, a more in-depth solution. That's the key. Successful businesses are businesses that build a long-term relationship with a client. They're not just offering one and done. A lot of people that get into internet marketing make the mistake of just trying to go for a one and done. In reality, what I think you should be doing is trying to build out a long-term sustainable relationship by first solving their first immediate problem and over delivering it. Make them say, man, this is really good information, really good, helpful information. And I think that's the key, right? We give them something, we sell them something that's going to help them solve their immediate problem, and every solution causes a new problem. And so we can help them with that as well. But I think one of the issues that people run into is the fact that they want to be helpful. They don't want to seem like a salesman. They feel a little slimy selling stuff to people, especially people that are reaching out to them for help. But in reality, because you can't explain everything in a DM, or you're sending 300 DMs and they keep wanting to pick your brain, you wind up losing time. And that's time with your family. That's time for you to be working on your business. That's time to be doing literally anything else, right? And the other thing that I try and stress is if you feel like your solution, the digital product that you created, if you feel like it's the best solution for them, then you shouldn't feel bad selling something. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. Most people feel slimy or they feel like kind of awkward when it comes to trying to sell something. But if you think the thing that you've created is the solution for their problem, will genuinely help them solve the problem that they're going through, then there should be no issue with you feeling bad about selling something, right? And if you don't feel like it's the best solution for them, then you should go back to the drawing board and not sell it. Find another thing, a different thing that will actually solve their problem. I think that's really important to understand also. If you guys have questions, definitely throw them out there. But I think it's really, really, really important, right? Because how many times have you reached out to someone in DMs? And to be perfectly honest and transparent, I've been on both sides. I've been on this side where I've reached out to somebody for help, and I never got a response, and you kind of lose trust with that person. But I've also been on the side where I get so many DMs, like over on Instagram, for example. I don't log into Instagram ever. I post on Instagram, but I don't log in to do it. I don't log in. I have software that automatically reposts to Instagram. And when I finally log into Instagram, I see all these messages. Unfortunately, I don't see them until a week or two later, where it seems like I'm like ghosting people, but in reality, I'm just not logging in. I don't ever go to that platform ever. But create a digital solution, and it's really simple. The digital solution you create can be a template. It can be I don't like ebooks, but they can be a workbook. And people often ask me, what's the difference between a workbook and an ebook? A workbook, let's see if we can get him at 3. He's not going to get them. A workbook is kind of like an active ebook. The difference between a workbook and an ebook: with an ebook, people just kind of, they may not read the whole thing. B, I think ebooks have been devalued because the information can just be searched with ChatGPT. Alston, your family from Mississippi, are they from McCab? No, my family's actually from South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina. We used to go there. A couple times a year, but no, we're from North Charleston. Ebooks. Why I don't like ebooks? Because information is so readily available, it can be accessed. It's been devalued. Most people don't read the ebooks, and also when people create the ebooks, it's very surface level information, very basic information, and people don't feel like they got value out of it. However, if you create a workbook, and a workbook just basically has like prompts and questions that people can fill in, they get more value out of that because they're actively participating in the in their learning, in their success. Right? How many times have you got an ebook and you read it, maybe the first chapter or two, and then you got distracted and you left? Or you said, man, I already know all this information, and so you don't find value in it. But with a workbook, way too early. With a workbook, you can have less text, include a little 5 or 10-minute video explaining how to fill out the section, and then have them participate in their own success, because they're going to get more value out of writing and answering their own questions than they will just reading through an ebook. I sold a bunch of copies of a 2-day affiliate marketing workbook, which is cool. So I know it works. People can spin up, you can spin up a ebook in, I don't know, 20 minutes, probably even faster now. But a workbook, You can still spin up really quickly, but I think there's more value out of it. You can I think it's really important for people to participate in their learning and in their success because they'll get more value. But you can do templates, workbooks, blueprints. Blueprints are like step-by-step guides. Think about a blueprint to a house. It's a step-by-step guide on how to build a house. You can do the same thing. I didn't want to swing at that. You can do checklists, cheat sheets. For example, like travel itineraries. You could do a traveling to Spain itinerary, or traveling with the elderly, a 7-day money reset for people who make money but still feel behind. It's a PDF. Yeah, do that. Now, what is it? Is it something that that they can actively participate in, or is it like an ebook? That would be the question that I have for you. Because, like I said, for $49.95, personally, I'm gonna charge. So for my first digital product, my first digital solution that I'm selling to somebody, I want to sell that low. I want to sell it between $5 and $17. I want to make it an impulse buy. I don't want them to have to budget for this. The first thing that I'm selling, I don't want them to have to budget. I don't want them to have to think about how much money or how many hours they're going to have to work in order to afford it. So I'm gonna sell it a little bit cheaper. And what I would do for you is I would actually turn that ebook into some sort of workbook where they can fill out some parts on their own. So like a 7-day money reset, have them identify where they're spending their money. That might be step one. Have them figure out where the money is going. And once they figure out where the money is going, then the reset can actually happen. So have them spend, I don't know, 7 days figuring out, tracking everything, and create a little worksheet for them to track their expenses every single day. So Monday, and then you have a bunch. So ebook. I wouldn't do I'm not a huge fan of ebooks at all. So I would create kind of like, you can do this in Canva. You can even do this in Google Docs. So have them do a 7-day tracker, Monday, and then a bunch of places where they can enter in their expense and then the dollar amount, and then total it at the end of Monday, and then the same thing for each day. And then you could even make it so it's kind of like a calculator or something where I didn't want to swing at that, where you walk them through it. And then, like I said, I think that's going to be a little bit more valuable because, again, they're having an active participation in their success. If they can see, okay, I'm spending every day at lunch, I spend $30 at I don't know, the gas station, getting gas station food. They can see that gap and then maybe budget accordingly. And what's really interesting is when it comes to budgeting and spending money, had to go, keep you posted. Okay, sounds good. What's really interesting is most people, I don't even know how to explain this. Most people will be frustrated with their budget because they feel like they have to do something. They feel like they have to sacrifice something, whether it's eating out or whatever. But if you budget it properly, so for example, let's say you budget $70 per week for eating out at lunch. That's okay as long as you've got a line item and you fit it into your budget. If you wanted to eat, if you wanted to order out every single day, that's okay as long as you've got it planned, as long as you've got a budget for it, which, that's beside the point. Anyway, what other questions you guys have? Like if you want to eat lunch out, you want to order out. My son says order in, which I think is weird. If you want to order out every day, you can, as long as you budget for it, as long as you account for it. Does he score? Yep. Anyway, what else? What else? What else? What else? So yeah, the main theme and purpose of this of this live stream is to encourage you to stop creating custom. What am I? I'm losing my train of thought. Stop creating custom answers in the DMs. That's the main purpose of this. I want you to understand, like, stop giving away free custom advice. It's something that everybody does early on. I did it. If you've got people reaching out to you, you get excited because they want to, quote unquote, pick your brain. But in the long run, that's hurting you. That is hurting you in the long run. Good eye. A couple things. What time is it? Couple things that oh my goodness, caught me off guard. Couple other things. If you guys have questions, definitely throw them out there. If you want me to give you some ideas based on your niche or your target audience, I can help you out with that as well. I'd be happy to help you out with that. But the one thing with 40 Grip, I forgot his name. He told me his name once. What I want to encourage everybody to do, the first thing you can help people with should be plug and play. It should help them achieve a result quickly, fast. You don't want it to take weeks or months or, God forbid, years to help them get a result. You want to help them get a result the same day, 0 for 4, the same week, if possible, 2 weeks at the latest. Because the longer it takes for them to get the result that they want, the less chance they're going to follow through. Right? You could create the perfect digital product that's been proven to help people, but if it takes a month for them to get the first result, they're going to lose focus. They're going to say, "Hey, it's not going to work for me." They can't see themselves completing that thing. But if you create, let's say you create wedding table numbers, they can get it, they can download it, and they've got one less thing to worry about. They can cross it off their to-do list. And that's what gets people to keep coming back. Hey, he solved my immediate problem. Or a wedding planner, a wedding budget tracker. Get it, download it. I can immediately start filling stuff out for my wedding my wedding woes. Man, I'm in a little bit of a slump here. I'm 0 for my last 5. I need, after hitting 4 home runs, I think. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling. Let me know if you guys have any questions, because I would be happy to get them answered. And what you can even do is you can make so basically what I'm telling people to do is spot the repeat questions. If you get the same question 5 times or more, turn it into a digital product, turn it into a digital solution. And once you do that, you can then sell it. Sell it as a short guide, sell it as a checklist, a template, anything that solves a specific problem. But as you start getting more and more questions, just add it to the end of your short guide. Okay? I think a short guide is a little bit different than an ebook, but you can keep adding to the end of it. And when you add to the end of it, you're going to have this essentially kind of like running list of a digital product. I am definitely slumping. I am 0 for 6, 0 for 7, 0 for my last 7. 0 for my last 7. Again, this is all about protecting your time, because time is your most valuable asset. You don't get it back. You don't get to borrow it from other people. Oh, he's safe. But it's all about your time. Time with your family, time with your friends, time at dinner. How many times have you gotten a DM that said, "Let me pick your brain," and you immediately, because people tell you, when people send a DM, it's a hot lead. You immediately jump in and you start answering those questions. You start giving detailed, explicit directions. Oh my goodness, I'm like 0 for my last 8. Instead of doing that, answer a few questions, start a conversation, and then refer them to your digital product. And you just say something like, "Hey, look, you got a lot of questions, more questions that I can answer in this DM, but I put together a step-by-step guide, or I put together a short solution that has more in-depth information that can help you out." Right? Then you can start, the next step to this is you can start creating content that points people to your digital solution. Damn it. That's the next thing. And so if you notice that people are asking the same questions, start creating videos, reverse engineer, work backwards. So RF816 Gaming says, "I have a question about ebooks. I do understand that ebooks themselves are kind of dry, but what about cookbooks? Cookbooks are different because they provide step-by-step instruction. You're helping people, you're giving them directions to follow. And so it's a little bit different. Ebooks are kind of like, give me 4 cups of whatever. But with an ebook, it's just, you go on and on and on, and most people lack the depth, especially when they're writing it with AI. It's very surface level information that they could Google or YouTube. Does that make sense? I am like 0 for my last 10. Double play. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. I left way too freaking early. Yeah, so it's not going well right now. Not going well. Who is this guy? What other questions do you guys have? If any, do you guys have questions? Is it making sense? Damn it, I'm not even seeing the ball well right now. Good. Like I said, as you start getting more questions, add them to the end of your digital product. I'm considered bundling a cookbook with a menu planner. I thought you were in the gaming niche. Yeah, you could do a cookbook, menu planner, template, and even do like a shopping list. A great way to increase the value of your digital product is to bundle 2 or 3 different things together. Yeah, bundle, make sure that they're relevant, make sure that they are actually going to add value to what the person wants. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I thought you were in a gaming niche. What I would encourage you, it's a gaming snack cookbook. Oh, that's interesting. Is that something that your target audience has asked for? Is it something that they've expressed interest in? Are they healthy snacks? What's the angle? It's probably the only question that I would have. This game really wanted me to win. That's why we're in the top 14th. What's the angle? That would be my only question. Has your audience, now I haven't looked at your channel, 0 for 6. Gaming culture. Okay. That's interesting then. Is it a healthy cookbook? I made a video today on my main channel that talks about niche ideas. And in general, what I think everybody should be doing, another line out, is taking two niches and combining them. So like I don't have the examples in front of me, but combining two niches to create your own. So instead of just like gaming or just like gaming for 40-year-olds, you could do a very specific group of people that have very specific needs, very specific, maybe dietary needs, or maybe they've got ADHD or something like that. Oh, I finally got a hit. Finally got a hit. I'm interested. Gaming culture. What are some YouTube? What are some videos that you've created? Because that sounds interesting to me. Of course, I'm not going to steal any of your ideas, but that sounds interesting. Gaming culture. Because most people, when they get into the gaming niche, they want to do like let's play with me, or play with me, or let's play. I think it is let's play, where they will another weak hit, where they'll hop on and they'll start playing video games with about their favorite video game. They'll start playing their favorite video game, but those videos those channels rarely ever grow, and the reason is that content is selfish. It's selfish content. You're not helping anyone else solve a problem. You're essentially saying, come watch me play video games. And you haven't quite earned that type of following. The best way to earn that type of following is to create content for other people. And then eventually people will start wanting to watch you for you. A lot of retro gaming channels have made references to not only old games, but the culture surrounding it. Okay. I'm honing in on the experiences remembered playing older games. Okay, that's interesting. But one of the biggest issues that I see just in general is people start a gaming channel because they like to play the video game, which is, there's no problem with that. I like playing this video game. But I also know and understand that nobody wants to see some random 40-year-old play a video game. They don't want to see a random 40-year-old just playing this video game. There's no story. There's no, I haven't done anything for the viewer to earn the right to just play video games. Now, if I start off by creating content where I'm teaching you how to hit a home run, or how to build a road to the show player, I'm teaching them how to level up, how to build the perfect road to the show player. That's a solution that a lot of people have. A lot of people want to learn a lot of people want to learn how to build the perfect road to the show player, or how to play online and win, right? A lot of people play online, but they never win. Or they want to learn how to win online without having to spend a bunch of money on packs, right? Limited beta, 50 spots only. The 7-day money reset motivation or reset workbook is $29 early access. I'd make it even lower. Make it a no-brainer, right? Make it so that people are like, man, I got to have this. Yeah, I'll make it lower. Because what you've got to understand is this isn't just a one-time cash grab. You're trying to build a long-term relationship with these people. I should have went to 2. a long-term relationship with this audience. Start at $7 and increase the price. You're trying to build a long-term relationship. And the best way to build that long-term relationship, charge low and then offer more solutions. Are you saying this is a cash grab or isn't a cash grab? Yeah, but at the end of the day, charge what you want. Charge 29. This one's charge 29 to see if people buy it. Maybe they'll buy it. But if you charge $29.95, your audience is gonna, hey, how's it going, Olivia Peterson? Just know that people are gonna have high expectations, and if for whatever reason you don't meet those expectations, you're gonna have potentially a high refund rate. But this is driving me crazy. Just relaxing, grabbing some snacks, and hanging out. Cool. Yeah, charge what you want. Charge 29 and see if people buy it. But just know that you might experience high refunds because they didn't feel like they got the value. Let's go 3. He's gonna be safe at 3. Oh, I got him. Anyway. But if you charge $7, how long have you been streaming in general? I don't know. You charge $7 and you exceed those expectations, they're going to come back to you. And in my opinion, it's better to have a high average lifetime customer value than just a one-time, like people that work with me. I expect to spend more than $100. If I'm charging $29.95 and they don't get the value that they're expecting or looking for, they might not come back to me for the other stuff that I have, the more helpful stuff, if that makes sense. Right? So the first thing that I sell, I asked Chad what was the number one digital product thing to sell for males, and they sent me the page. What do you mean? Can you explain? Explain to me. I didn't want to swing at that. Explain to me what you mean. It sent you like the sales page, or it sent you the digital product? And one thing that you've got to understand, maybe I haven't explained this correctly. We sell our digital products through our content, through like YouTube and through TikTok. And the reason why people buy from us is because of our content. Our content connects with them. It resonates with them. And, we're creating content to create a connection, to create, if we're being honest, parasocial relationship. People know, like, and trust us. It's a sales pitch, yes. I don't think it's necessarily a sales pitch, because you do want to provide value in the digital products that you're creating, or in the content that you're creating. Like, you can go to my YouTube channel right now and you could get a ton of information that would actually be helpful. On my YouTube channel, I walk you through how to do specific things. Let's see if we can get them at 3. Right? There are people out there that go to my YouTube channel, they watch ChatGPT sent me your, oh, that's cool. I appreciate it. That's pretty interesting. Damn, what was I saying? Oh, some people will watch my YouTube videos and they'll get so much value that they don't need any more help. But other people will need more assistance. And oh my goodness, what am I doing? What time is it? I know when it's getting late because I just start swinging at anything. Some people will want more assistance or more intimate assistance, but no, we're not just it's not just a sales pitch, because people can see right through that, right? How many times have you been on TikTok and you just seen a blatant sales pitch and you immediately swipe, or you hit not interested, something like that? But if you went to my YouTube channel, I just did like a step-by-step how-to video. Let's see if we can get him at 4. Probably not. He's safe. I've done a bunch of how-to step-by-step YouTube videos. I've had people come back to my channel and say, I followed your free advice on how to on how to earn affiliate commissions with Bluehost, and it worked. What is going on? Well, I will check your YouTube channel, but now link would be, let me know, would you be interested in anything? No. So let me explain correctly. ChatGPT sent me to this page, your YouTube page, when I asked what was the #1 digital product a male could sell to be profitable, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And to answer your question, there is no #1 digital product, because it really all depends on what I would do is I would start off by identifying a group of people that you want to help, because there's 4 billion people that have access to the internet, and we all have different problems. We all have different needs. We all have different wants. In general, the biggest niches are health, wealth, relationships, and technology. But even inside of that, there's different sub niches that people are interested in, right? There are tens of thousands of people that want to learn how to repair their car because they're not going to be able to afford to take it to an auto mechanic. There are thousands of people, tens of thousands of people that want to learn how to stay in a relationship, right? So what I would do is first identify problems that you've solved for yourself. What problems have you solved for yourself? I think you're wearing a Bulls hat. There are tens of thousands of people out there that are frustrated with the Bulls. I got your point, but I only do graphics, and I found multiple. Okay, great. There's tens of thousands of people. I listen to ESPN 1000 in Chicago, and people are fed up with the Bulls. There are tens of thousands of people that enjoy the Chicago Bulls and are frustrated with the direction that they go. You could create content simply talking about the Chicago Bulls. You could create content talking about the NBA, and there are tens of thousands of people out there. Credit. Okay, so think about that. You could actually create templates to help people with credit repair, right? There are lots of people out there, and it's growing every day, that need to maybe write a letter to the collections agency to maybe have it reduced, or write a letter to a hospital for an itemized bill so that they can get their hospital bills reduced, right? So whatever solution you solve for whatever problem you solve for yourself, turn around and solve that for other people. Ooh, I think that's a double play, because you're going to be in a great position to speak on it, right? You're going to be able to use the language that the other people are using. The people that are currently going through the issue with their credit, you can use their language. You can talk to them in ways that they understand, and you can build that connection, and then you can sell something like a credit repair template, sell a packet of information that they could use to help them repair their credit. Now, obviously, you won't want to, I guess, guarantee anything, but what if you put together a budget calculator, a snowball budget calculator, to help them identify where they could save money and then pay off their bills to improve their credit? Does that make sense? So step number 1 is simply to pick a group of people you want to help. Step number 2 is to create a digital solution, create a digital product that's going to help them. And the digital product that you create should help them solve their problem quickly. And that's why I like the kind of like the templates. If they can the hospital itemized bill template, you create a form letter for them, or find one online that you can resell, and you include that in a packet. Also include a budget calculator, or a debt payoff calculator, something like that. And then you use your content to attract people to you. And in your content, you speak their language. You talk about the frustration that you experience, knowing that you've got creditors, people calling every single day, threatening to threatening to turn off your lights, or threatening to foreclose a house or put a lien on your house, whatever it might be. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. So that way, you're being genuinely helpful. And then once you help them with that first step of repaying the credit, that's when you look at additional ways to help them. Maybe you help them because it's ultimately what, personal finance. You simply can help them budget better. How do I identify gaps of where money is leaking out of their bank account? Let me know if that makes sense. Wait. Do. Let's see. Late again. Any other questions? And to be honest with you, Olivia, I think the best way to get clients is not to jump in other people's lives. It's not efficient, because if you're in this live, how many other lives are you not in? How many lives do you have to jump in every single day in order to get someone interested? In addition, when you jump in other people's lives, I'm going to devalue your skills and ability, right? If you're spending a bunch of time jumping in lives, you might be able to charge normally, let's say $100 for graphic design, but because you're coming to me, I'm going to say, well, I'm not going to be willing to pay more than $10. And then you've got to accept it, right? Simply because, thanks for my direction. Yes. Okay. Because I don't value that. But if you create content and you attract people to you and you sell a service, you can command higher prices. And that, obviously that's my opinion, but people that jump in lives and they try and get you to do graphic design, it seems like you're desperate. And if you're desperate, you might be willing to accept anything. So I'm going to say, okay, make graphic design for me for $10. And if you're not willing to do that for $10, there'll be somebody else that hops in, because there's always somebody that's hopping into these different lives, saying and doing the exact same thing, pretending to be interested in hopes of landing a client. It's kind of like Fiverr. Why do people do high level graphic design for $5 over on Fiverr? Because you're competing with everyone else on a marketplace. It's an open market. But if you create content and attract people to you, you can charge what you want, and you can say take it or leave it. They can see your skills on display. The other issue too, Olivia, is you say that you're graphic design. How do I know that you're a graphic designer? You're not just a scammer that's going to take my money, and then I'll never see or hear from you again. Versus someone that has a YouTube channel or a TikTok account, and I can see behind the scenes. I can see their work. Oh my goodness. What time is up? Olivia, if you're still on, let me know if that makes sense. But there's a big difference there. Attracting people to you based on your content versus fishing, right? Because you're spending a bunch of time going in people's lives and hoping that they pay attention to you and hoping that you get one. But if you create content, that content works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Think about that for a second. I have literally thousands of mini-me's right now talking to people all over the world. While I'm here live with you, I've got thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of mini-me's talking about like a variety of topics. But they're out there working and building connections and building relationships and building parasocial relationships while I'm live with you. People are buying stuff from those mini-me's. However, the alternative is that you're one person jumping into these individual lives. Maybe you have 10 phones. Okay, that's 10 yous trying to get someone to buy. Versus me, I've got thousands of mini-me's on a variety of platforms, talking to people, connecting with people, building relationships with people. So what's going to be what in your opinion, what's better? Creating content that has thousands of people building connections, thousands of Alstons building connections, or you having 10 phones and you're sending out the same message to 10 people, hoping you get one of them to say yes. And if one of them doesn't say yes, then you essentially wasted an entire day. And if you get one of them to say yes, is it going to be the right price point that you want? You know, what probably happens is it's kind of like a funnel, right? You do 10 of these per day. 5 people see your comment and don't block you. Out of those 5, 3 of them might be interested. And out of those 3, one of them might be, one of them might say yes at your price point. What is that? That's a 10% conversion ratio, which isn't bad. Probably be much lower over the long run. But me, I've got thousands of people. Even though I'm with you right now, playing video games. I gotta take this. Hello? Okay. No. No, I haven't heard anything yet. Love you too, bye. Yeah. All right. Love you, bye. Yes, thousands, and I'm not exaggerating. That sounds like an exaggeration. But take somebody like Mr. Beast. He has tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of him building a connection with people all over the world, while Olivia is manually entering in into all of these different lives, trying to get 1 or 2 people to pay her some money. That's the power of content. That is the power of video content right there. And after we're done here, I'm going to go to the gym and work out. I'm going to go shoot some hoops. While I'm shooting hoops, thousands of people, I'm going to talk to thousands of people. While I'm picking up my kids from school, while I'm working out with my kids at night, they play baseball and basketball. I've got thousands of people building connections. That's the power of content versus manually. And even if you have a skill-based, a service-based business, content. For example, there's a local deli. It's a deli and a go back. Go back. No, go back. I always go back wrong. It's a local deli and grocery store. It's called Tenuda's. They're creating content to let people in and around Kenosha know that they're there and what they have to offer. And you can see their videos while they're open or closed or whatever. And to be honest with you, whenever I see their videos, I think back to when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, my dad used to take me there, and I always remember the cigar, because they've got a little cigar area as well. And the cigar, I can vividly smell it now. And I think about the food you can get there and the alcohol and all that stuff. You can get the great ingredients to make lasagna. That's the power of content. I immediately start thinking back to when I was a little kid, and my dad used to take us when he'd go get alcohol. And even now, when I want lasagna, I have asked my wife to make lasagna. I always say, tell me the ingredients, because I think Tenuda's has the best ingredients for making lasagna. I actually know a guy that works there. But that's the power. Do you guys have do you guys have any other questions today? Any other question? I think I'm going to play one more game, and after that one game, I'm going to head on out. I got to figure out a way to get my dog in the house because he refuses to do so. Any other questions? I normally try and go live for about an hour. On TikTok, I'm at 59 minutes. On YouTube and the other places, I'm at 56 minutes. So I'm gonna go live for another 4 minutes or 3 minutes at this point. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to get them answered. Give you some direction. I think today we're going to do agility today. Normally I have my kids down in the basement. I have my older son who's really into basketball. He works on ball handling, dribbling and things like that. And then my younger son, he does ball handling, dribbling, and then he also does some hitting. We do some hitting in the basement, baseball, because baseball season's starting. 2 or 3 times a week, I'm trying to incorporate some agility so they can be faster and jump a little bit higher, in coordination. I guess coordination is probably the most important thing, especially at their age. The faster you can become coordinated, the more of an advantage that you have. Because the kids at my kids' ages, a lot of them are uncoordinated because they're growing. They're at one height one day, they wake up and they've grown 2 or 3 inches, and they're all lanky and uncoordinated and tripping over themselves. But if you can help them get coordinated, they have a distinct advantage. They can play faster. They can play better. And that could be a digital product. Creating a 7-day workout routine for a 10-year-old that's interested in basketball, and a 7-day off-season workout routine. How simple is that? That's just based on the simple conversation that we had. A 7-day off-season workout routine for 10-year-olds. A 7-day at-home workout routine for 10-year-olds who are interested in basketball. That's a digital product idea. That's based on a problem, helping your son improve or daughter improve in a sport in the off season at home. You think some parents would be interested in that? You think parents would buy that? And then you create content talking, and what you would do, let's say on TikTok, for example, On TikTok, you create a video talking about the one of the one of the fitness training guides that you do and the benefit of it. He might be able to beat that out. No. But it really is as simple as that. Think about the problems you solve for yourself or your family. Create a digital product because I guarantee you, there are hundreds of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of parents that want to help their kids improve their skill. It could be basketball, football, soccer, volleyball in the off season, so that they don't lose the skill that they built up. What if I put together a hitting routine for my an off season hitting routine for my 8-year-old son? Simple as that. It really is that simple, guys. And you use content to attract people to you. Use content. Ooh, dive. Oh, you missed it. Oh, you could have tagged him. Then you just create content to attract people to you. Literally, any solution that you've come up with. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a genius in it. You can just share what worked for you. And then the results might be your son or daughter jumping higher or running faster, or whatever it might be, improving in their sport. Or you working with a group of kids and showing the improvement in their sport. That's it. That is it. Simple. Not easy, simple. And when you realize that, hopefully the world opens up for you. All right. So we have come to the end of the game. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for engaging. The live streams are always so much better when people actually engage and ask questions. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great day, and we will talk soon.